Welcome to another episode of the Bama Beat. I'm your host KJ, and we are now at the SEC championship game. Since the last time I've done a video, things have changed. Alabama has went from number 10 in the rankings, college football playoff, to number 9. That is really significant for us because you behind Notre Dame, and we was at this point where I was telling y'all I don't know what the committee would do if Alabama loses in the SEC championship game. Now, I told y'all from the beginning, I expect Alabama to win. I want Alabama to win. I'm not going into this game like, oh, we could lose this game because I don't know what the committee going to do. Now, they got the odds looking different if we lose. Now, we lose by 28 points, 30 points, everything could change. But if it's a close loss, I feel like Alabama is still in. But I'd rather we just finish our business, do what we need to do so it's not a discussion. You lose the game, you got people over the next couple of days saying why you should be in, you're a 3-loss team and all that. Go out there, handle your business, do your job. Now, I don't think you should be out for winning or losing in a conference championship game, and other teams that's in the top 12, they don't have to do a championship game. Like Texas A&M, they lost, and I think they did themselves a favor because they still in the playoffs, and they don't have to play in the SEC championship game. So, like I said, I don't think Alabama will be out, but I'm focused on them winning the damn game. So, injury update for this game for Georgia. Their starting center, Bobo, will not be playing. That's probably the biggest, significant injury on their team. That is the starting center, the communication, all those things, and everybody talking about how big of a loss that is for Georgia. For Alabama, Jam Miller, Josh Cuevas are questionable. You got Kevin Riley, who won't be playing. On defense, LT Overton and who else? Kelby Collins won't be playing. So we'll have to figure that out. But like I said, as far as Georgia, that's huge for them. Now, going into this game, you going against a coach that I respect a lot. Kirby Smart, I respect Kirby Smart. Like, I just think the world of Kirby Smart as a defensive coordinator, as a head coach. And the last time you played him, his press conference after the game was Ty Simpson did everything right. We got them into third down and third and long, and he made good decisions. He found his receivers. He threw the ball accurately, even under pressure, things like that. And he talked about how he might be the hottest quarterback in college football at the time. And everybody went all crazy about that because people didn't believe Alabama would win and stuff. So now I'm looking at it like Kirby Smart is going to give you different things. He makes adjustments. He made adjustments in the game we played against him. So the things you like, he has a full year worth of film. The things he know Ty Simpson likes, the things he know that kind of make him indecisive and things like that, he gonna know. So it's time for us to make our adjustments and do our job on offense. Offensive line, I think it starts with y'all. I think it starts and finishes with y'all because if you able to block pass wise and run wise, and we get players like Daniel Hill to get cutback lanes or AK Deer cutback lanes to get big plays on the run side of things, that's when you open up Ty Simpson and play action. We are very, very good in play action, but we can't get to play action because we can't run the football. Against Auburn, the running game was way better. And I expect them to keep that spark going to help us in the SEC championship game. I always tell y'all, I don't want Ty Simpson to be the hero. I don't want him to throw the ball 50 times. But if he have to, he have to. It's up to the offensive line. It's up to the running backs to go create big runs. It's up to the offensive line to create lanes for the running backs to run so we don't have to worry about the pressure all being on Ty Simpson. And also the pressure of having extra rushers running at you all the time. Do I think Ty can be the hero and do all that? Yeah, I do. But do I want him to? No. Because our offense flows way better when we can get play action. And sometimes we try to do play action and nobody is coming. Nobody is biting down because you can't run the football against our basic defense. So why would our linebackers cheat up? Why would our safeties cheat up to give you a big shot down the field? Another thing is Ron Williams. I know everybody came at me after I made the video saying, what Ron Williams did? He was a decoy. They didn't want to use him that game. I don't understand it at all, and I don't agree. So we can agree to disagree, but I don't agree with that. He can't have 0 everything against Georgia. If he have 0 everything and we beat Georgia, I'll tell y'all I was wrong. But 0 everything and being a decoy is not what you need. Like I said, Kirby Smart is going to make adjustments. He know exactly what he want to do right now against this team. You gonna need Lazier Brooks, who I think could have a big game. You gonna need Ryan Williams. You gonna need Bernard, especially if that run game is not working. Even if the run game is working, their play action for big plays, which we have been allergic to having big plays down the field, throwing the ball and catching the ball. We need to find ways to do that too. Do I expect our offense to look better? I really do hope so. But every time I get on this mic and say this is when we're going to flourish as an offense, it never happens. But we find ways to win. Now, hopefully we find ways to win against Georgia. But it'll be so much easier if it start with this offensive line, this running game, and then everything else can start flowing. If we can get the running game going, I don't think we have a problem on offense. I think Ty Simpson is going to make great decisions. I think they're going to, Ty Simpson going to do his job when he got time. But when he got to run around and throw the ball 50 times, they know for a fact you're throwing it, so they blitz you every time. It's not going to be good. And we're going to get right back to being stagnant and relying on our defense to help us out. And maybe the defense might have a bad game and not be able to help us out. So, like I said, it's all about that offensive line and the running game. Those are the first two things. Now, I know, like I said, Ty Simpson, I believe in him. But I'd much rather us have a balanced game to where we don't have to worry about people rushing us all the time. Ty Simpson is getting hit. He is running for his damn life. Nobody's picking up anybody because they got more rushers than you have people to block. So the decision has to be fast. The one-on-one separation has to be fast. And if not, that's when Ty Simpson get hit. That's when Ty Simpson, fumble the ball. That's when Ty Simpson look like, what's wrong with Ty? Well, that's what's wrong with Ty. So I expect the offensive line to build on what we've been building on the last 2 weeks to go against Georgia. I'm kind of thinking about Ryan Williams having, a big game. I expect him to have a big game. I expect everybody else to. Josh Cuevas, if he's not out there, we're going to need Pritchard. We're going to need Caleb Williams. We're going to need those guys. If Jam Miller is not able to play, of course, Daniel Hill. I hope he's ready for a workload. Defensive-wise, Gunnar Stockton is a player that has gotten better over the season. He's understood what he needs to do, things like that. Of course, we know he's a runner, but I think it really comes down to tackling in the open field. Anytime I watch Georgia, it's all about that quick string. It's all about the quick pass, they catch it, and yards after the catch. I really think if you tackle in open space and you stop the run game, that's when you get them uncomfortable. Now, Gunnar Stockton is good enough to drop back and throw the ball, but I like our defensive chances way better if you're going to have your quarterback drop back and try to dot us up like that, because I think people like Pierre, I think people like Quay Russaw, who just got back, had a decent game against Auburn. He going to keep getting better. He was a preseason with All-American. He back from a foot injury. So I believe those guys will get back there. But if you make Gunnar Stockton drop back every time, and you put them in 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, and you tackle right in front of you, you good. And that's exactly how I look at it. Now, I know Kane Womack going to have his defense ready, and we've been talking about it for weeks, and I've been talking about it for months, that they the most consistent part of the team. I expect them to have another good football game. I feel like Bray Hubbard, Deontay Lawson, and all these captains, along with the young guys like Xavier Brown, who went off against Auburn, DeJohn Lee, who's playing amazing as a true freshman. You got Red Morgan, who's playing way better. Keon Sabb is looking like he hitting his stride. Like, I feel like these guys are ready. I feel like they locked in. And one thing I do know about them, they understand what they doing. They understand what Kane Womack wants from this defense. That swarm D, once you get the confidence and once you know exactly what you're doing, instead of having to look around and think all the time, it's fun. You can tell they having fun every single time. That's why the ball keep coming out. When we made Auburn kind of fumble with like 5-6 times. We only got the ball one time, but the ball kept hitting the ground. They coming to attack you and that football. And I believe they're going to do a great job of that again. But like I said, it starts off with making Gunnar Stockton drop back and throw that football. Don't let them, they get into the hurry-up offense and they throw the quick stream for 30 yards, 40 yards. No, make them drop back and actually throw that football. Because I love our chances, our DBs against their receivers. I love our pass rush against their offensive line. Like I said, Bobo is out. That is huge for them. That is huge. It's just time to do your job. So my score prediction is 27-17. I think players like Bray Hubbard, Keon Keeler, I think our, vet players, our captains are going to make plays. I believe Gunnar Stockton throw a pick. I believe they fumble. I believe we, get good field position and the offense capitalizes. That's all we need the offense to do is capitalize off the good defense. Don't put it all in the defense's hands. Don't get into we in a new season now. You have the SEC championship game. You cannot lose this game. I feel like you can get in, but just don't leave it up to the committee. Please don't. Do not sit here after Saturday, going into Sunday, sitting there like, damn, are they gonna put us out? They're gonna bring Texas up, or what they gonna do with BYU and Texas Tech, whatever happens in that game. Just do your damn job, and you might get a bye week out of that. You do your job against Georgia, you might get a bye week out of that for being the SEC #1 team out of the regular season and being the SEC champion out of the regular season, and you might get your bye week. But it's all about now doing your job better than you was doing it in the regular season, being better than you was in game 2, game 4, game 5. It is all about win or go home. That's the mindset you need to have every single time you step on that field from now on. Your goal is a championship. Your goal is to hoist up that trophy. Y'all been through so much adversity. Y'all started the season against Florida State losing, and everybody wanted everybody to clean house. They wanted a different quarterback. They wanted a different head coach. They wanted a different defensive coordinator. They thought Alabama was going to lose all these games to these SEC teams. Then you lose against Oklahoma after having a great stretch and one of the most brutal stretches in college football, probably the most brutal. And then they say, your coach going to leave. You got Kalen the boy who said today, put it to bed. He said, we're happy at Alabama. I love the challenge. I'm not running from none of that. I'm not running from it. So put it to bed. And now you in a situation where you can be the SEC champion and then go into the playoffs hot. I believe this team can be a championship team. I don't give a damn who is on that bracket. I don't care what team it is. I don't care at all. As long as Alabama is in there, I think we have a chance. And I'm going to put us against anybody in that field. Not because I'm an Alabama fan, but because I know what this team can do. With this defense, and if their offense, I don't know if we ever hit our full stride that I think we can. Hopefully we do. But I'm telling you, it's going to be scary. Alabama might have the best defense in the country. Forget the SEC. Probably the best defense in the country. Now, you're going to be going against some coordinators, as a quarterbacks, as a receivers. If you make it to the playoffs, that's going to challenge you a little bit. But I believe. I truly do. So, it's a win or go home situation. And I believe in this team. Y'all let me know how y'all feel. We got the SEC championship game coming up against Georgia again. Like I said, it's hard to kind of dissect what you think going to happen because it's Kirby Smart, and then he got film on you. You played him already this year, and he's just different. He's a different person. Like, I got so much respect for him. So, Ryan Grubb, Ty Simpson, Kalen the boy, it's time to lock in. It's time to have different checks at the line. It's time to have different things going on to where Georgia, they have to think about what they're doing instead of just knowing for a fact this is what you're going to do. This is what he like to do. And I believe Ryan Grubb got some plays for him. And I don't want him to get too crazy because when he do, he get too crazy. But like I said, I'm ready. I believe Alabama wins the SEC championship game and potentially gets a bye week. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Roll Tide. And I'll see y'all after the SEC championship game.